my life story and seeing God's glory throughout this world, throughout this community, especially here at St. Matthew's, has meant a tremendous deal to me. Just a little background. Many years ago, well, you guys probably already know, my dad is Pastor Ed Winters, so growing up, we really didn't have a choice, but it really meant a lot to me because I saw it all through his work. My dad's work is through as well as Pastor Cohen and Pastor Tim, Lowell Tim. But that's where a lot of our friends came from, and still today, and especially an event that just happened. I'm sure you guys are all aware of Mom's unfortunately passing the last couple of weeks. Seeing some of those glories of God, the people that he's touched, and the people that Mom has touched, and Dad and us, just the friendships that have come forth over the last couple of weeks is just incredible. But there's been such a journey in my life with my faith, and looking at God's glory throughout those years. It's been an up and down struggle for myself. Going back a few years when my wife and I lost our son Brian, that was gut-wrenching. You doesn't even have a chance to live. But again, seeing the pouring out of people around you in the community, and that's what God's faith is about, is seeing how many people he's touched and the healing process that has come through that. And actually watching, the most difficult thing for me was watching my mother-in-law struggle, who is a devout Christian, and really losing her faith, which was a real struggle for me, because that was a nice anchor for me as well as my mother-in-law, and watching that struggle. But seeing her go through the process of finally accepting that and looking out and going, well, there's something bigger out here than all of us. Another thing after that was understanding that playing gigs my entire life, I was very tired on Sunday mornings and didn't make it to a lot of church. And I think going through that and understanding, watching my wife join St. Matthew's and the involvement with the kids in the church, and looking at that, I felt there's something I was really missing. And in that particular part of my time in the early 90s and mid 90s, there was a huge hole in my heart. I was lost. But thank God for my wife. She brought me back into the church, and I thank God for her, because that piece of my heart and part of my life was truly missing. And the more and more I became involved in St. Matthew's, and I look through those years, I have friends like John Stolte, Kurt Weber, John Paradowski, Robert Hughes, and a very big one for me is Al Van Lithel the last couple of years, helping me understand God. And now going back to my mom's unfortunate passing away and going to the glory of God upstairs, having friends like that, the community here at St. Matthew's has really touched myself, as watching my dad go through this as well. Just the pouring in of all people that he's touched. Now it's time for them to preach back to him, as well as putting that on us. And it's been very comfortable and comforting to see his glory throughout the church community, and how many people that God has actually touched and is working through. And that's another thing I really love about here at St. Matthew. There's so many different venues for everybody, and you can see it. And for me, it's music, and John Paradowski's music, and Dave Moore. The gift and glory of God through the music has meant a lot to myself. That's my biggest niche is the glory of God I see through the music.